So hi, welcome. Today we've got Coach Doug Little, head coach Potomac State. Going to talk a little bit about the JUCO impact of the COVID-19. Coach, appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So before we get into a little bit of what's been happening and some of the decisions that are rolling out, tell us a little bit about Potomac State.
We're a junior college. We're an NJCAA Division I junior college here in Kaiser, West Virginia. Been Division I JUCO for 23 years now.
So talk a little bit about your background.
My playing career was I played 4 years at Alderson Broaddus College in West Virginia. And then from there, I went to grad school at Eastern Kentucky University, was a graduate assistant there, and got my coaching career started there. And then went to West Virginia Wesleyan for 2 years as a graduate assistant, and then came to Potomac State. What year would that have been? 91, fall of 91. And I was an assistant in 92 here at Potomac State, took over in 1993 as head coach. The coach that was here that I was assistant for retired. And then I was here from 93 to 94, 2 years as head coach, and then left in 95, January 95, to go to West Virginia and be the recruiting coordinator there from 95 to 99. And then came back here in 2000, the fall of 2000 at Potomac State, and been here ever since after my 5-year stint at West Virginia.
So you've been at multiple levels. Tell me about, you guys had pretty good success there at Potomac State. Tell me how you've been able to put that together.
Well, thank you. We have been very fortunate, and I think the biggest reasons why is, number one, we were able to recruit and get good players. And the second thing is, once we have them here, we've got a system in place to help them develop and get better, and we work them hard. So I think those have been our two key successes, is being able to get good players, and then when we get them here, work them hard and help them develop. Yeah, for junior college, we've got really pretty nice facilities. We got a nice playing surface, a natural grass playing surface that we work hard on, and it's in really good shape right now, and we can't play on it, but it's probably the best it's ever been this time of year. And we've been fortunate. We have a really good spring that we'll probably never get one like it again, but we'll see. We've got a clubhouse right at our field connected to our dugout. Not many junior colleges that I know have a clubhouse right at their field. It's really nice. And then we just built a new player development center, or baseball performance center is what we're going to call it, right behind our clubhouse, that we can do our full practices in there when it comes to pitching and hitting. And that's open 24/7, 365 when the players are here, that they can go in and work on their game around practices anytime. And that's really going to be a game changer for us as our new baseball performance center.
So let's go back to the COVID-19. How did you guys hear about it? Where were you guys at in the season? And then kind of how did you roll that out and have conversations with the team and players?
Yeah, that's an interesting scenario. We were 12 games in to our season and just come back from a road trip, and started actually on our road trip at the restaurant. We were eating dinner. The NBA just announced that they had canceled their season for an indefinite period of time. And then as we continued that trip back that night, we're hearing about the NCAA basketball tournament possibly getting canceled or backed up. So you start seeing a domino starting to fall there. And then the next morning, more cancellations, and started thinking to myself, are we going to be next? Is college baseball going to be next? And as it's played out, yeah, it got us.
So how did you have that conversation with the team, and what was their reaction?
I tell you, we met because we were just getting ready to start spring break on Friday, and WVU come out, because we're a branch of them, and made the announcement that their spring sports were on hold, and we've kind of followed the same guidelines they do. So I met with our team on Friday. We're just getting ready to start our spring break games, and we had to send our guys home for spring break. So we got the guys together, had a meeting, saying, hey, we're canceled till, I think then might have been March 24th. And met in our clubhouse, said, when you guys go home for spring break, try to get yourself somewhere where you can hit and do your throwing, stay in shape. So whenever we come back in a week, that we're not, too far behind. And honestly, I thought at that point that, a week or two, we'd be right back in it. So we really never got to say goodbye to our guys, and still have not yet, other than through not social media, but text. And it's kind of an open-ended feeling that we never really got to tell the guys face-to-face or eye-to-eye about anything before they left, assuming that we were going to come back and play.
Wow. So given the current situation right now, what are the rules that you're currently under, and how long does that last?
With junior college, we're not allowed any on-campus or off-campus recruiting through towards the end of April. And then they're going to reevaluate it and see if they can open it up to where we have players in for visits and go off campus and recruit. So we're kind of in a holding pattern, so to speak, right now, and waiting to see what they're going to do. Now, we can still contact recruits through emails, text, social media, all that kind of stuff. So, really, until this all went down, we were kind of at the end of our recruiting, kind of narrowing down some loose ends. And so we really pretty much had most of the guys in for visits and had that part taken care of. It's just a matter of, getting the other parts tied down once they commit to us.
So I know that 2020 class is a big part of what you guys do as recruiting at a junior college level. How is that impacting them not being able to play their last seasons for kind of those guys that you're still maybe taking a look at, still evaluating?
Absolutely, the 2020s. I feel bad for those kids. My son's actually going through that. He's a 2020, and him and I know tens of thousands of other high school seniors playing baseball have worked hard and put a lot of time in it, and was waiting to showcase what they could do this spring. And now that's probably not going to happen. And it is disappointing for those kids. And like I said, I'm living that firsthand with my son. So, I do feel bad for them. I've gotten a lot of emails from kids in the 2020 class with videos that they have. So we're able to try to keep those things going to evaluate kids. And yeah, you're right. In our situation, we really rely heavily on those 2020 grads. And there's a lot of kids that we're not going to get to see or may miss because of not being able to get out in our current state.
So what advice do you have for the 2020s right now?
Hang in there. I think we're going to get through this thing hopefully sooner rather than later. And I'm hoping for those guys that summer ball is not canceled and they can still play their summer leagues and get seen. But probably the biggest advice right now for them is to contact coaches. If they haven't done so already, I'm sure they have. Continue to contact them. Try to get them updated video if they're hitter on hitting, if they're pitching, some mechanic type stuff. Be creative and stay in contact, really. And I know at the junior college level, more so than probably any other level of college baseball, we're still putting our rosters together. And I know we still need players, so we're still looking for those 2020s to fill roster spots, and I'm sure other junior colleges are as well. Although this decision coming up on money that the NCAA Division I is going to make with their future, with their players, could impact us as well, maybe getting an influx of players maybe that we may not have normally gotten because maybe they're not going to have a chance at the Division I level.
Yeah, I was thinking that with junior colleges right now, with everything being in flux, it may work out well for guys to really take a look at that junior college option. This might become a much better option for them than maybe it was a few weeks ago.
Absolutely, that whole dynamics of how that's going to play out now that the Major League Baseball draft has made the decision they're going to have 5 rounds, and then they'll be signing free agents after that. But there's going to be more players now available for the college market at all levels. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. And I think you're right. Junior college could be the recipient of that, a good recipient of that, having an influx of pretty good players that may have signed to play Division One. And now if the NCAA Division One gives the seniors a year of eligibility back, um, they may be looking for a place to go and have a chance to play more so as a freshman than maybe at a Division One school because their seniors are back. So that could happen. That could really help boost the junior college ranks as far as talent.
So what about those guys a little bit later down the line, 2021s, 22s, 23s? What advice or what kind of tack should they be taking right now?
I think the similar emailing coaches, hopefully get back up and playing this summer. They've got a little bit more time, so it's not as panic for them as it is for the 2020s, in my opinion. But I think with this delay, because I know Division One schools and probably Division Two and Division Three schools can't get out and recruit right now because of sanctions. That we can't do it. It's going to benefit those 2021s and 2022. I think more giving them more time to get seen.
Tell me about the importance of video and maybe what you're looking for specifically with video for guys. So if I'm sitting at home, maybe I don't have something put together now, how important is it for me to get video out? And then what exactly are you looking for?
Well, probably right now, I think, in my opinion, it's really important because that's the only source of seeing players. So, and I know for players, it might be difficult to find a place because unless you're essential business, a lot of places are closed. And I know a lot of high schools, their facilities are closed and don't let anybody on their property. So kids kind of have to be creative. Maybe, if they got a net they can hit into at home, do that. I know for hitters, we like to try to see hitters swing, their swing, particularly from the side, so we can kind of see what that swing looks like. So do videos from the side angle. That's at least how I like to look at hitters, is from the side, straight on, so you can see the path of the bat and their load and all that kind of stuff. So hitters, be creative, and if you can only hit off a tee or soft toss into a net, you can at least let a coach see your swing. Pitchers, measure you off 60 feet 6 inches somewhere and find you somebody that can catch, and try to do bullpens to keep your arm in shape. And then also video from in front, from the side, behind, so coaches can see your arm angle and how it works and your delivery. That's probably about all one can do right now based on the circumstances.
So if I'm a player and I want to reach out to a coach, what's the best way right now? Email, phone call, text?
I'd say probably email. That's probably the best source. A lot of players don't have coaches' cell phone numbers, so maybe if you do call a coach, call their office. I know coaches are, I know for us, we're trying to do the best we can through emails, text, phone calls, checking messages daily, because we're kind of bored too, because there's not much to do. So I know coaches are doing that around the country. So that's probably phone calls to the office, emails. I don't know, maybe through social media might be a good way too. I've gotten a lot of messages the last couple of weeks from players through Twitter, expressing their interest in sending videos. So those ways, in my opinion, are probably the best ways.
So has cabin fever set in? Do you are you going crazy not being at the field right now?
Yes and no. I go up daily. I only live like 2 miles from our ballpark, so I go up daily to do some things. Social distancing. It's only me and the cows up there, so there's not too many people around, and do things like that just to try to stay in that normal routine as much as possible to prevent cabin fever, like you're saying.
Great. Any other further advice for guys in this situation?
I wish I had the answer, and it's obviously uncharted, unprecedented territory that we've been in, something that none of us have ever lived through or seen. So we're just kind of figuring this out on the fly. Hang in there. Baseball will be back soon. Hopefully, we're really hoping sooner rather than later. and hopefully get this thing started back up again in the summer and get back to normal. I would tell players just to hang in there and do the best they can in communicating with coaches, and we'll get through this whole thing together.
Doug Little, Potomac State head coach. Appreciate you taking some time with us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you, and good luck to you. Stay safe.
You too, Coach.